The South.
The march to the madness is on. First, Georgia takes on Fresno State. Then USC battles ECU. Doubleheader action begins today at 5 on Fox Sports South.
The Naval Academy is 6-1. Wait, back that up. That's right. I said Navy is 6-1. Not since the early days of the Admiral have the Midshipmen been off to such a quick start. With a balanced attack led by two seniors, head coach Don DeVoe has set course for yet another Patriot League title. And while we're on the subject of quick starts, you have to go back 40 years to match this year's Auburn Tigers. 10-0, ranked 19th in the nation, and outscoring their opponents by more than 28 points per game. They're locked, loaded, and on a collision course with Navy. Anchors away, it's Auburn and Navy next on Fox Sports Net. And welcome inside Alumni Hall on the campus of the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. We've got college basketball this afternoon on Fox Sports Net. The Auburn Tigers of the SEC taking on the Midshipmen of Navy. And a very pleasant good afternoon, everybody, and happy holidays. I'm Dave Weekley. Happy to be alongside Fran Fraschilla this afternoon for this key non-conference matchup, Fran, between two teams who are off to red-hot starts. Auburn undefeated. Navy's won 6 of 7. How do you see the matchup?
Well, Auburn wants to go, Dave, where Navy's been. That's back to the NCAA tournament under Cliff Ellis. And this is the kind of game that's going to help both teams, I think, as they get ready for conference play.
Auburn is 10-0, and their team is 10 deep. Legitimately, they come at you in waves off the bench. But when you talk about the Auburn Tigers, a veteran coach, Cliff Ellis, let's focus in on junior college forward Chris Porter.
Well, some people are comparing Chris Porter to the next Charles Barkley here at Auburn. While that's high praise, Cliff Ellis does think he's a difference maker and is a big reason why they're off to that fast start.
Navy, it's easy to figure out why they've been so successful recently in the Patriot League. They do it with a tenacious man-to-man defense. They set a record last year for steals, and if they're going to have an upset chance today against the Auburn Tigers, it's going to be a pair of seniors that are going to have to lead the way.
Well, Josh Williams inside, but more importantly, Skip Victor, who's a team leader. He's a lockdown specialist defensively. He provides great leadership for this team. The United States Navy's in good hands in the coming years with Skip Victor.
We think we've got a terrific matchup for you this afternoon on Fox Sports Net. Auburn of the SEC set to take on the Navy Midshipmen. We'll check our starting lineups and have the opening tap in just a moment from Annapolis.
Have you ever bought a new computer, then had a question about it, and then you asked your spouse and your kid, and it was 7 o'clock, and the computer store was closed, and the guy next door who knows everything about computers was on vacation? Why not get help 24 hours a day? Go to Dell. We've won PC Magazine's award for desktop reliability and service 3 years in a row. Right now, you can get a Dell Dimension computer powered by an Intel Pentium 2 processor at 400 megahertz. You'll get a 12.9 gig hard drive with enough storage to use neat stuff like digital cameras. Plus, you'll get a 17-inch monitor, a 4.8x DVD-ROM drive, Altec Lansing speakers with subwoofer, and it comes preloaded with Microsoft Windows 98 with Home Essentials and Money 98 to do, oh boy, money stuff. It's a good thing it only costs $19.99. Dell Dimension with an Intel Pentium 2 processor at 400 megahertz. Just $19.99. To order, go directly to the source. Dell, be direct.
Calcium, lime, rust. Hard water minerals that build up to leave stubborn stains that you just can't scrub away. Industrial strength CLR makes those hard water deposits disappear. Look how quickly it dissolves the lime buildup on this humidifier filter. And if rubbing and scrubbing doesn't get your coffee decanter clean, CLR will make it look new again. That bitter taste will disappear when you clean your coffee maker with CLR. If your washing machine is leaving rust stains on fabric, run CLR through a wash cycle and see the difference. Calcium deposits make your shower head spray in all directions, but just dip it in CLR. Instantly, it will spray like new again. CLR works just as fast and easy on tubs, basins, and toilet bowl stains. Watch how fast and easy it removes rust stains from cement and stucco. Get money-back guaranteed CLR at all leading stores.
You'll find CLR at Walgreens, Eckerd Drug, Ingalls,
CVS, Winn-Dixie, Lowe's, Rite Aid, True Value, Ace, Kmart.
Set for college basketball this afternoon from Annapolis, Maryland. We've got a key non-conference showdown between the undefeated Auburn Tigers and the Navy Midshipmen. And we are inside beautiful Alumni Hall, Fran Fraschilla, and this is a great secret of college basketball. What a great venue.
What a great campus. It's a great, just a great location, and it's nice to know that our taxpayer money is being spent well here at the Naval Academy.
There you go, and you're looking into the Auburn huddle. Cliff Ellis on the bench in his 5th year at Auburn. Now let's go ahead and check our starting lineups for today's game. For Auburn, they are 10-0, and this is the 11th time they've gone with this starting lineup. Porter and Smith will be at the forward spots. Njai, a 7-footer in the middle, and in the backcourt, Pullman can really stroke it, and Doc Robinson is in his 3rd season as the starting point guard. For the Midshipmen of Navy, Reeder and Williams will be at the forwards. Josh Williams, a 6'11 senior, returns to the lineup today after missing 2 games with a bad ankle. And in the backcourt, Skipworth runs the point, and Victor is the slashing 2-guard. There's a good look at Cliff Ellis in his 5th year, and he really believes he is loaded this year, Fran. Across the way, Don DeVoe, the veteran coach of Navy, hoping to take the Mids back to the NCAAs for the 3rd consecutive year. We are set to get it on. Njai and Williams on the tap, and it's finally controlled by Auburn. Auburn in the orange, the road uniforms. Navy in white, trimmed in gold.
Additional Don DeVoe man-to-man defense. Great pressure on the ball to start off.
This is Pullman at the top of the key, number 10. Smith. Njai on the baseline. There's Porter, the pull-up. And Auburn takes the quick 2-0 lead.
Very important early on that Navy handles this full court pressure. It's a 1-2-1-1 pressure, which we'll get a good look at, Dave, throughout the game.
Chris Porter with the 2 early points. He leads Auburn in scoring and rebounding, pouring in over 14 a game and pulling down more than 7 boards per contest. Now we'll see Navy in their half-court set. This is Victor, 32, with the ball down to the baseline. And we've got an offensive foul. Offensive foul is called on Navy. Reggie Skipworth with the personal.
Scott Pullman's a kid that looks like my paper boy, Dave, but he's not afraid to get his body in the way, and he did that yesterday at practice. He's a tough guy.
So Robinson works into the front court. Auburn looking to add to their early edge. Boy, Pullman can really stroke it. You don't want to let him get his feet set if you're the Navy defense. Njai looking inside. Quick hands. Victor nearly had the steal and will stay at this end to the dismay of the crowd. Our officials today, Tony Green, Sean Hull, and Joe Lindsay Jr. 14 on the shot clock as Auburn is set to trigger it in. Pullman off the baseline. He's got it. So Auburn 2 for 2 from the field and a 4-0 lead. And once again, off the made basket, Auburn with the pressure, and the Mids throw it away.
And that's been a staple of their early season success, Dave, is that 1-2-1-1 full court press. They've got athletic guys out there, and it really puts a lot of pressure on the offense. Auburn's a very patient team for a team that has such high scoring firepower. They're not going to take a lot of bad shots.
The Auburn Tigers ranked 19th in the nation. They are ranked number 2 in the Sagarin computer ratings. And they go inside a great wraparound pass by Doc Robinson to Porter. He can't finish, but he does draw the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2. And if you're looking for an Achilles heel, Fran, of this Auburn basketball team, the free throw line might be the place.
Well, that's right. And, you know, that's been somewhat endemic of college basketball this year, Dave. Navy, a traditionally good shooting team, is also a poor free throw shooting team. And it doesn't hurt you when you've got a plus 28-point scoring margin, but it may catch up to them as the season goes on in close games.
Auburn as a team shooting 57% from the line. And as you might expect, Porter with 1 of 2. And it's a breakout for Navy. This is Williams who takes it down to the baseline.
Don't be fooled by Navy, Dave. They're going to look to run. They average 77 points a game.
Robert Reeder missed the layup but was able to tap in the follow. The 6'7" sophomore from Pasadena, California gets Navy on the board, and it's 5-2.
You gotta like Skip Victor's pressure defense.
Robinson takes it all the way to the hole. It's 7-2. A 5-point edge once again for Auburn. And once again, the full court pressure. And Pullman is called for the foul as he tried to reach around Reggie Skipworth in the backcourt.
One of the things Navy's got to do today, Dave, is not be afraid to throw the ball over the top. There's a lot of space in the middle of the court. And if they can get the ball over the top of this press, they're going to attack it and look to score.
Victor quickly into the front court. It's a 3-on-2, and now he'll pull it back out. This is Chris Williams, 33, one of the best athletes ever to attend the Naval Academy with a basketball. And they'll set up the offense. Reggie Skipworth, number 5 with the ball. Williams, the pull-up. Back iron, no
Tough
good.
shot.
And really not his shot.
No, and Auburn did a terrific job of contesting that shot, and it's something that is a staple of both teams defensively. I think if you're a little bit more patient, Reggie, you're going to get a better shot than that.
Porter looks inside. Pullman back to Porter. He'll take it right to the hole and score it.
You know, Cliff Ellis talked about how unselfish this team is, and early on, Dave, you can see that guys really look for each other. That was a great pass by Scott Pullman, who gave up an open jump shot to feed that to Chris Porter.
7-point lead for the Tigers, their biggest of the early action. 3-ball on the way, and good. Skip Victor knocks it down. It's 9-5.
And you know, one of the things that's important about Navy, Dave, coming out, they don't get a nationally ranked team in here too often. And it's important that they keep their composure. They're excited about playing Auburn, but you don't want to be too excited.
Hey, that's exactly right, friend. In fact, this is the first nationally ranked team to ever play Navy in the 9 years since this building opened. Porter, the running right-hander, no good. Williams had the rebound, lost it. And Njai is fouled as he tries to stick in the putback.
Auburn is averaging 20 offensive rebounds a game, Navy 18, and here's an example of the irresistible force and the immovable object and the irresistible force of Njai wins that one.
Mamadou Njai, 7-foot junior from Dakar, Senegal. Substitution into the lineup. Satafa Savani is into the game for Navy. So we have the 2 stars from Senegal in the lineup now, and they'll be guarding each other, we would anticipate.
Savani knows 4 languages fluently, which I think is 4 more than I know.
I was going to say, I think I know 1. Token pressure this time by the Tigers. Reeder with the quick feed inside, and Njai with one of his blocks. Victor takes it back and puts it up and in. I don't know, Fran, some of this game today may be played above the rim.
Well, when you have a shot blocker, one of the things you do is you go at him and try to get him in foul trouble. And there's a good example of Skip Victor taking it right back down the lane after the block shot.
Robinson to Porter on the low block. Wants to work on Reeder. Gets him in the air. Puts it up and in.
That's a great head fake. Great patience. Great head fake. He allowed Reeder to make his move and then used the fake against him and made the shot.
Boy, Porter doesn't have what you would call a beautiful jumper, but he is a natural scorer.
And he doesn't force a lot of things either. He really plays within this offense.
Skipworth will skip it over to Victor. Then gets the ball right back. 15 on the shot clock. Auburn with a 6-point lead. 13-7. 5 minutes in. Njai went for the steal, and as he went after the basketball, Reeder impeded his progress, and Reeder is called for the personal. And he took a nose right at center court. 15-11 to go, first half. Auburn with the early lead on the mids of Navy, 13-7.
The Patriot League, 7 schools united in a commitment to excellence both in the classroom and on the field. We produce true student athletes in NCAA Division I programs. The Patriot League boasts the highest graduation rate of any league in the country, and our level of play is second to none. The Patriot League, integrity, excellence, commitment in both men's and women's sports. We display the traditions and values of collegiate athletics every day.
You know, when we first started telling golfers that oversized is overrated, tour pros kept coming up to me and saying, come on, Raj, is the Tri-Metal really that good? No club climbs to #1 on any pro tour without paying players unless it's head and shoulders better than anything else they're using.
In the Tri-Metal, what you see is the culmination of 38 years of making the highest quality, best performing golf clubs in the world.
The Tri-Metal is better because two things. It looks good to me, and I hit it farther than anything else in my bag. Put the Tri-Metal in your bag.
If you love golf, you owe it to yourself to give it a try. Oversized is over. The Tri-Metal is the right size club.
Call now to receive your free video on the Tri-Metal. We'll also rush you a free subscription to Great Golf Magazine, the insider's guide to new technology and in-depth interviews from the world of golf. Call now.
Auburn with the early lead on the road at Navy, 13-7, and the action under the bucket, Fran Fraschilla, is fast and furious.
Well, one of the things you want to do with a shot blocker is take it at him. Savani gets a shot block, but Skip Victor comes right back down the lane fearlessly and makes the play.
Now, Robert Reeder and Njai got tied up in this situation. Reeder went down hard, and you could see the knee hit Reeder right in the back of the head, and his face went right into the court. He has left the court momentarily. Auburn with the basketball as we come back to live action. Holman controls the loose ball, takes it back up top. Smith, the follow-up, tough shot. Njai can't get the tap to go. Porter puts it back up and in, and right now Auburn is controlling the glass, and that's unusual for a team to do that against Navy because the mids constantly dominate rebounding margin.
Well, that's Chris Porter's 9th point, and he's done it all in a variety of ways.
Njai with another steal. Look out. Njai went hard to the hole, and he was fouled from behind by big Josh Williams. Williams would not give Njai the easy basket.
That's the second time Dave Njai's anticipated the passing lane and come up with the play. He's got great quickness. This guy's 7 feet tall. He's really improved. He comes out of Maine Central Institute, played for a great prep school coach in Max Good. Came to Auburn a little bit unpolished, but continues to get better. Some NBA people think he's got the ability to play at that next level.
In just his 4th year of organized basketball, and he has got some skills, no question, and you have to like that athletic ability that he showed here in the early portion of the first half. He can really get up and down the court.
Well, he does a lot of everything. The one thing the Auburn coaches are really happy with is his offensive game is starting to develop as well, and he's already a fine defender and shot blocker.
We told you in the pregame about how Auburn can come at you in waves. Porter and Smith have checked out of the lineup. And we'll see our first look at number 23, Damian Fishback, who can really light it up. Great three-point shooter. Victor backs Robinson in, can't get it to go. And David Hamilton, a highly regarded freshman forward for Auburn from Compton, California, clears the boards. This is Hamilton, 44, with a basketball at the top of the key. Fishback lets fly, missed it all. Robinson is right there to put it home.
Hamilton's the kind of guy that is going to get better in practice going against Porter and Njai every day. And he's got a nasty disposition, which is going to make them better players as well. It's great depth for Cliff Ellis.
Skipworth delivers a 3, and Navy needed that badly. 19-10.
Navy's just got to settle down a little bit here and stay within striking range.
This is Hamilton. Oh, made that look very easy. So the freshman from California has come off the bench and immediately contributed 2 quick buckets for the Auburn Tigers. It's 21-10. Victor to Williams inside, and he's fouled and will go to the line for 2.
Navy's not used to this kind of size, and they come at you with a variety of people who can block shots. It's nice to have that luxury of having a shot blocker in there that erases mistakes.
Now, you folks at home, if you have a problem with bad free throw shooting form, you might want to turn away from the screen right about now. Another one to come.
And Josh Williams has been a very productive player for Don DeVoe in other aspects of his game. He's averaging nearly 12 points a game as a senior.
1 and 2 for Williams. Reggie Sharp comes into the lineup for Auburn.
Reggie's an interesting story. He was playing at West Georgia a couple of years ago. Assistant coach at Auburn, Shannon Weaver, came and joined the staff. Reggie came with him as a walk-on. Cliff Ellis didn't think he would ever really play much, but he's been a nice contributor and a good backup to Doc Robinson.
Big Mike Cunningham has checked into the lineup for Navy. And when you talk about Reggie Sharp, in Auburn's win at Florida State earlier this season, Doc Robinson had to leave the game after he took a hard shot to the head, and Reggie Sharp came in and really filled in and did a very nice job running the point. So Auburn really doesn't lose too much at the point when Sharp is in there.
He's been a very pleasant surprise. Head coach of West Georgia is the former Ole Miss coach, Ed Murphy. Reggie's got a chance to have had the opportunity to play for some good basketball people.
Auburn with a 10-point lead, 21-11, trying to build on it on this possession. Auburn has led this game from the opening tap. The pull-up pop, no good. Njai all over the glass again is rejected. Cunningham with the big block, so turnabout is fair play. Skipworth. Victor thought about a three. Cunningham trying to post Njai up down low. That's a tough proposition. Skipworth had his pass intended for Victor knocked out of bounds. Navy will keep it 17 on the shot clock.
This really is a great test for Navy, Dave. They're considered a power team in the Patriot League. They're an excellent rebounding team. And at the same time, they're playing against a team that I think has the kind of size and athleticism to match up with them, obviously.
Victor on the runner, and that's what Skip Victor needs to do, Fran. Well, he's so effective going to the basket.
He's a guy that's got great experience. He's been in 2 NCAA tournaments, and he is their team leader, as we talked about at the top of the show.
Auburn will stay at this end. Fans don't like it. Jay Hurd, freshman guard from Oxford, Alabama, replaces Pullman in the Auburn Tiger lineup. We told you Auburn was 10 deep. Cliff, I was so excited about this year's team. It's really the first team he's had at Auburn that really has the kind of depth he thinks that can make a serious run at the NCAAs and possibly the SEC crown. A steal. Up and in. Reggie Skipworth takes it the distance. And suddenly Navy getting right back into this thing. And the mid shows some full court pressure to finish.
Well, that's exactly right, Dave. The pressure defense of Navy paid dividends right there. Reggie Skipworth coming up with a nice basket.
Njai wants to work on Williams, and he's called for the offensive foul. And that brings the Navy bench up as one. .34 to go in the first half. Navy trying to get back in this battle with nationally ranked Auburn in Annapolis, 21-15.
You don't get in this kind of shape running on a treadmill. You do it with strength exercise, and I do it with the Bowflex. You know, if you're not working out with strength training right now, you need to. Because if you want to lose weight, you got to add the muscle, and that's why you need a Bowflex machine. It's like nothing else you've ever tried before. We've got over 60 exercises you can do on a Bowflex. You're never going to get bored. You can do a full workout in 20 minutes on a Bowflex machine. You're not going to believe how effective Bowflex is the first time you get on it. Bowflex may look a little different, but that's because we designed it to function correctly. Bowflex uses power rod resistance. Bowflex power rods are so effective that Bowflex guarantees results in 6 weeks or your money back. Try going to the gym and getting a guarantee on results. You won't find it. If you call and get our free videotape, you're going to see an effective workout and see how easy and quick and fun working out with Bowflex is.
The attack continues. Nashville's Sergei Krivakrazov will lead a pack of fierce predators north of the border to face off against legendary Mark Messier and the Vancouver Canucks. The Predators battle the Canucks tonight at 10 on Fox Sports South.
This is Bancroft Hall on the Navy campus, named after the former Secretary of the Navy, George Bancroft. It's home for the entire brigade of 4,000 midshipmen. Contains, get this, Fran, nearly 1,900 rooms. They'd have room for you.
I think so. I'll tell you, it's exam week around here, Dave. It's been a pretty tough week for the Navy midshipmen as they finish exams and concentrate on other things beside basketball. Yesterday's practice looked like Grand Central Station with guys coming and going, trying to finish up their final exams.
So Auburn raced out to a big lead, but now as we reach the halfway point of the first half, Navy is trying to get back in this thing. And following the timeout, Auburn employs that full court pressure defense, and that has affected Navy in the early going. Skipworth is able to get it into the front court for the mids. Victor down low to Williams. He just went up against a trio of defenders, and it's a held ball situation, and on the possession arrow it will go to Auburn. Great defense by the Tigers. This Auburn defense has given up only 55 points a game. They are tough on defense. Doc Robinson into the front court. Porter loops it down low, and Robinson with the finish.
That's really tough to deal with. A little high-low action there, and Chris Porter has shown some versatility, making a great post feed to David Hamilton.
23-15, Auburn with an 8-point edge. Savani backs in, can't get it to go, but he does draw the foul on the freshman Hamilton. Here's a good look at Hamilton. Cliff Ellis has had a real run of success getting talented players from California.
Well, Eldon Campbell, he's done a nice job with big guys as well. Guys like Dale Davis and Horace Grant at Clemson. Eldon Campbell, a native of California, as you mentioned. And David Hamilton looks like the kind of guy that is going to develop into a fine SEC player. Coaches get reputations of developing players, teams. And one of Cliff Ellis' strengths is the fact that he has done a nice job with big guys. And you can see that with NJ now David Hamilton.
Boy, you think about some of the great big men that Cliff Ellis has had. Sharon Wright at Clemson.
What I like about Auburn's full court pressure, Dave, is they're going to try to take a chance in the front court, but not give up too much. And as I say that, Skip Victor attacks over the top, which is a great ploy by the midshipmen.
So Victor now has 9 points to lead all scorers. And Fran, they finally took your advice. They threw over the press, didn't they?
Well, you got to make them pay. If they're going to put 4 guys in the back court, you've got to get the ball over the top and attack in the front court.
23-18, Navy's back to within 5. Doc Robinson setting the offense. There's Porter. He wants to take Savani to the hole. The follow-away is good. And Porter just continues to impress.
Well, he's lived up to his reputation, and he's doing it within the flow of the offense.
Savani. Nice pass from Victor.
And that's what you have to do, Dave. You've got to get the ball over the top and attack the press. Cliff Ellis is going to have to make some decisions if Navy continues to get some easy baskets in the full court.
It's a 20-second timeout for the Auburn Tigers of head coach Cliff Ellis, and he wants to talk about the suddenly resurgent Navy fast break.
Well, I think what the press is designed to do is to really flood the backcourt and try to get easy steals, easy traps. But once you get the ball on top of the press, and this is the initial pass to Victor, and you see it's created a 2-on-1 at the end of the press, and Savani does a nice job of taking advantage of the numbers.
Don DeVoe in his 7th year at Navy, 105 wins with the Mids. The turnaround of this team began last year when the Mids went 15-6 after a 4-5 start. They lost to North Carolina in the first round of the NCAA East Regionals. He's one of 15 coaches to take 3 separate teams to the NCAAs.
Well, and today we've got 2 guys that have won 850 games. We've got a lot of coaching experience out there.
Porter on the baseline. And he is fouled.
You know, what you like to see, Dave, in a guy that's so highly acclaimed like a Chris Porter coming in, is he's really gotten his offense in the flow of Auburn's attack. And Brian Smith, who has been an all-SEC performer, has really given up some of the scoring to allow a guy like Chris Porter to enjoy the success that he's had so far, early part of Auburn's season. Cliff Ellis really likes the unselfishness of his team, and although Chris Porter has gotten off to a fast start, it's really come within the flow of the play, which I think is important to Auburn.
In Auburn's last game earlier this week against Wofford back on the Plains, he was saddled with early foul trouble and really wasn't a factor until the second half. But he's having a good game today. There's an offensive foul. And that'll be called on Chiliest is whistled for the offensive foul. Skipworth into the front court. 6-point lead for Auburn. Victor has been an offensive star here in the first half. 32 in white for Navy. Dave Weekley and Fran Fraschilla at the United States Naval Academy. And a great steal by Pullman. And here comes Auburn back the other way. Pullman on the pull-up. This is a three. Missed it. A little too quick. And the foul is going to be whistled on Bryant Smith going after the rebound. Savani went up strong for the board for Navy.
Well, and Scott Pullman hadn't gotten an open look early in the game. And this is a quick shot, contested. That's a tough shot for Scott. It's the top of Savani. Does a nice job of getting defensive position.
This time Navy beats the pressure easily. Savani goes right down to the baseline. Kicks it back out to Victor. Three-pointer by Williams out of the corner. It's good. And Navy's back to it in three.
John Williams. Don DeVoe played with John Havlicek at Ohio State a long, long time ago. And he compares John Williams, a local kid from Broadneck High School. He's got a little bit of John Havlicek in him, coming off the bench as the sixth man. He's only a sophomore, and that's something else, Dave. This is a young Navy basketball team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, only two seniors. Savani is called for the foul, and Porter will go to the free throw line. Porter is there on the 1-and-1. 26-23. Auburn came very, very quickly out of the game.
Yeah, we talked about Navy being in a position to stay in the game and handle the early barrage of Auburn. They've done that, and I think that bodes well for them here the rest of the half.
This is only the 6th meeting all time between these two teams. Last year, Auburn defeated Navy on the Plains 70-54, a game in which Navy jumped out to an 18-3 edge. Victor with a good look for three. Back iron, no good. Savani the board. No foul is called, and here comes Auburn back the other way. Great pass by Smith. Pullman, the finish.
Great look by Porter to finish the break with Scott Pullman.
Victor to Williams. And Williams is bumped by Njai as he tries to go baseline.
I'm really impressed with Porter, Dave, in terms of being able to play an all-around game. He had an opportunity there to score and really made a very simple, easy play to Scott Pullman. You know, it's funny, when you're a guard like Scott Pullman, you're going to remember that. And he's going to get it back throughout the year, Chris Porter.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So Williams will step up to the free throw line. Has been a real spark off the Navy bench. Had 23 points in Navy's season-opening win against Rice. And that Rice game really gave Navy the indication that they could be into something good again this year. And Williams in that game against Rice really lit up the Owls. He was 8 of 9 from the field that day.
Coming into the season, they had lost 8 lettermen, and so that Rice game was a good barometer of where this team could go this year, because I don't think Don DeVoe even expected them to get out to the 6-1 start with so many newcomers.
Porter impressive on the rebound. 30-24. Smith with an athletic-looking drive. Puts it up and in. Bryant Smith, the senior forward from Huntsville, Alabama. Savani nearly traveled. This is Williams. And Porter deflects the ball away to Pullman. Porter into the lane, and nearly an uncontested turnaround.
Well, it didn't start out uncontested, but by the time he got in the air, he was all alone in the stratosphere.
And Smith went hard underneath the basket. And he is working his way back to the Auburn bench. 7:44 to go in the first half. Auburn 34, Navy 24.
Have you ever bought a new computer, then had a question about it, and then you asked your spouse and your kid, and it was 7 o'clock, and the computer store was closed, and the guy next door who knows everything about computers was on vacation? Why not get help 24 hours a day? Go to Dell. We've won PC Magazine's award for desktop reliability and service 3 years in a row. Right now, you can get a Dell Dimension computer powered by an Intel Pentium 2 processor at 400 megahertz. You'll get a 12.9 gig hard drive with enough storage to use neat stuff like digital cameras. Plus, you'll get a 17-inch monitor, a 4.8x DVD-ROM drive, Altec Lansing speakers with subwoofer, and it comes preloaded with Microsoft Windows 98 with Home Essentials and Money 98 to do, oh boy, money stuff. It's a good thing it only costs $19.99. Dell Dimension with an Intel Pentium 2 processor at 400 megahertz. Just $19.99. To order, go directly to the source. Dell, be direct.
Perennial powers meet again. The defending champions take on the Cardinals. Stanford, Tennessee, today at 3 on Fox Sports South.
Yo, check this out.
The march to the madness is on. First, Georgia takes on Fresno State. Then USC battles ECU. Doubleheader action begins today at 5 on Fox Sports South.
Some fans of the Tigers of Auburn have made their way to Annapolis for this game, and we appreciate their support. 10-point game. Auburn leads Navy 34-24. Navy had cut the Auburn lead to just 3 points, Fran Fraschilla, but boy, Auburn, when they come up with the turnover, they really push it, don't they?
Well, and Chris Porter's got 16. He's got almost half of their points, and he has lived up to his billing so far.
So how about that? Porter, averaging over 14 a game coming into action, is over his per-game average, and we still got almost 8 minutes to go here in the first half, so he's off to a great start. Chris Worthing, number 11 in white, has checked in for Navy. The tip by Cunningham, can't get it to go. Savani with the putback.
Well, and Navy, too, shows that they can rebound. They've been an outstanding rebounding team, 18 offensive rebounds a game, and Savani shows you why right there. And Auburn's got a guy in the game by the name of Adrian Person, Dave.
There you go, and Max McGandy is also checked in.
Adrian Person, nephew of Chuck and Wes Person. They say he shoots like him, but he's just gotten his eligibility, and they're not sure how much he'll help him, but he sure does have good genes. And he's got the right name for the Orange.
And he's got the right number, too. Where's 45? Chuck Person's the all-time leading scorer at Auburn. Wesley Person's the number 3 all-time scorer for the Tigers. Good defense by Cunningham. Auburn retains possession. 1 on the shot clock. No, they don't get it off. Robinson saw the shot clock clicking down, but was unable to get the shot up to the basket. So Navy takes possession. The Mids trail by 8, 34-26. Chiliest has the shot sent out by Savani.
The Senegalese sensation, his teammates refer to him as.
Well, he may speak 4 languages, that's true, but that was the international language of get it out of here.
That's right. No weak stuff.
Double team. And Auburn comes up with yet another turnover. And now it's a held ball situation and will stay at this end as Navy retains possession.
And you've got the experience of a Don DeVoe on your bench and the kind of leadership of a Skip Victor. Navy has weathered that early Auburn storm. The kids really are excited about Auburn coming in here. Talked about it yesterday. I think they see this as a great challenge for them.
Chris Williams to Cunningham. Can't get it to go. Savani, the tap, nearly got it to fall. He'll go to the free throw line, and David Hamilton unhappy, but he is charged with a foul.
DeVoe does a terrific job in this program, Dave, of really developing players. They have a junior varsity program. They have the Naval Prep School up in Newport, Rhode Island. Satafa Savani is one of those guys that really came on at the end of his sophomore year and is really starting to blossom as a junior, and he's only started a handful of their early games.
Coming into play today, Fran, he's Navy's leading scorer and rebounder, putting in nearly 15 points and pulling down almost 8 boards a game. Chilius with the board for Auburn. So Savani comes up empty at the free throw line, and now the Tigers go back to work. What a killer crossover by Robinson, but the block by Williams. It's a breakout for Navy. Chris Williams can't control the ball, and it's run down by Doc Robinson. The look away to Porter, and he is just red hot. He's hitting it all.
He is really impressive. I saw him last year in junior college quite a bit, Dave, and I got to tell you, he has more than lived up to his billing. He's a terrific scorer.
Porter's got 18 of Auburn's 36 here in the first half, and the Tigers have a 10-point lead again. Savani down low, gets away from Porter and puts it up and in.
Adrian Chilius went for the steal right there, and all he needed to do is play position defense. He gambled, took himself out of the play, and Savani was able to wrap around Porter.
Doc Robinson on the pull-up, no good. Chilius has the board. He's battling inside, and he's fouled by Savani, and he'll go to the line.
Now, the one thing Cliff Ellis has got to be concerned about right here is his players understand now that Navy has come to play today, and they've started to be a little bit less patient than they have been the early part of this game. That time was a quick shot by Doc. In a one-on-one contest, that was a heck of a move, but I'm not sure that's exactly what Cliff wanted right here as they try to pull away from Navy.
Chilius a little flat on that free throw attempt. And now for Navy, Skipworth and Reeder return, and you can see Reeder's all patched up after that slam fest he had with Njai early in the first half.
Well, he's a big kid. They had a guy here in the David Robinson era, Vernon Butler, who Robert Reeder kind of reminds me of. Big bone kid, does a lot of dirty work, and he is back. Didn't you expect him to be back, Dave?
Oh, absolutely. From the top of the key, Skipworth had it in the cylinder, but it bounces out. And Chilius continues to impress off the Auburn bench as he clears the boards. Robinson takes it all the way to the hole. Foul. They'll go to the line. Doc Robinson, cat quick from Selma, Alabama. All he needs is just a crack, and he took it right to the goal.
Well, Doc's got to be a little concerned right there, just in terms of staying within the offense. He got fouled. That's a good sign. But Doc's strength as a player for this Auburn team is distributing the basketball.
So Pullman is out for the moment. Robinson with another free throw to come. And Auburn has pushed their advantage back to 10. They're in the double digits again at 38-28. Inside of 5 minutes to go, first half. These two teams off to great starts. Auburn off to their best start in 40 years. Navy's off to their best start in 15 years, but something's got to give today. Chris Williams with a very athletic-looking fall away for the mids.
Chris was highly recruited by a number of SEC schools to play football and chose to come to the academy to play basketball. Charlie Weatherby would love to have him out there playing
nice
for the Midshipmen.
passing inside by Auburn, but finally the turnover as Skipworth stepped in as they tried to get the interior pass to Porter.
And Corey Watkins is in the game, Dave. So Cliff Ellis has really made an effort today to get everybody in there, and really is continuing to try to develop depth for the SEC conference.
Chris Williams takes it back out. 10 on the shot clock. Skipworth now top of the key, directing traffic. And a foul is called away from the ball. And Doc Robinson is whistled on the personal. And that'll send Skipworth to the line.
Teams, both Auburn and Navy, Dave, shoot high field goal percentages. That both are very solid in terms of their field goal offense. And that usually is a sign of a team that gets easy baskets both in transition and around the basket. second shots. And also it's a sign that the team is patient in their offense. And when Auburn's played well today, they've done a nice job of moving the ball. And that possession, Navy did a nice job of really moving the ball until Skipworth got fouled.
Porter ahead of the pack.
Well,
and Williams had to get back and slap away what would have been a poster slam.
Well, I got to tell you, one guy who's not going to be in the Federal Witness Protection Agency today is Chris Porter, and there's no way he should be that open. That's a defensive breakdown. If there's one guy you're going to key in if you're Navy, you got to know where Chris Porter is.
Porter has struggled at the free throw line this year, but is very, very proficient in that category this afternoon. He hit 4 key free throws going down the stretch against UAB that helped Auburn pick up a win in Birmingham this season. Rattles at home.
Well, he's got 20 now, and Don DeVoe's got to be concerned about that. He's got to find a way to neutralize him.
3:48 to go, first half. Auburn with a 10-point lead on Navy, thanks to plays like this one by Chris Porter.
The Patriot League. 7 schools united in a commitment to excellence both in the classroom and on the field. We produce true student athletes in NCAA Division I programs. The Patriot League boasts the highest graduation rate of any league in the country. And our level of play is second to none. The Patriot League. Integrity, excellence, commitment in both men's and women's sports. We display the traditions and values of collegiate athletics every day.
Sportsnet has the biggest stars in international soccer and the legendary league's most famous clubs. Plus, up-to-the-minute news and reports from the greatest soccer circuit in the world. Man United look to build on their European success. Middlesbrough wants to claim another Premier League victim. English Premier League Soccer, Sunday at 7 on Fox Sports Net.
.48 to go in the first half. A big non-conference game this afternoon. College basketball here in Annapolis, Maryland. Auburn with a 10-point lead on Navy, 40-30. And Chris Porter has really been the story for the Auburn Tigers. He leads all scorers with 20 points. He's got half of Auburn's points here in the first half. His season high, career high at Auburn, 24 points in the win over UAB. He's on course to hit that before halftime, Fran Verschillen.
And what you got to like about it, he's only taken 9 shots. He's 7 of 9 from the field, so he's really, as we talked about, stayed within the flow of the offense and taken shots that he's capable of making. He hasn't really forced anything, which is what you want to see. And Auburn's shooting 56% as a result, Dave.
And Navy is shooting 57%, and they're down by 10. Chris Williams to John Williams. You know, you can just call Williams out for Navy, and you got a good shot. They got 3 guys named Williams on their roster. Chris Williams, 33 with a basketball.
And they don't have names on their back, which makes it worse for us.
Skipworth, the runner off the baseline, and Williams takes it away. The turnaround, no good. Navy got nice 2 good looks that trip.
Good look and nice hustle. Good offensive rebounding by Chris Williams.
And the ball is slapped away. Skipworth was able to get the ball away. Back Victor to Skipworth for 2.
That's a great look by Skip Victor. He slowed down and waited for the 3-on-2 to develop. And Reggie Skipworth was the trailer on that play. He made a nice decision, Skip.
All right, Navy would like to make a little push towards the lead here. They trail by 8 as we close in at halftime. And there's the turnover.
That's good, solid pressure defense. You know, you tell your players to guard somebody like you don't want to be guarded. You know, when you play that pickup game in a schoolyard, you don't want a guy in your face. And that time, Reggie Skipworth was all over the ball and forced a turnover.
turnover story. Navy with 8, Auburn with 7. Navy can draw a little closer with a conversion on this trip. Skip Victor takes Watkins to the baseline, short on the shot, gets his own board, missed the follow, and over the top, the foul is called on Mike Cunningham, the sophomore center from San Antonio, Texas.
Well, that time, Skip Victor, you talk about an error of commission, and you rather a player make an error of commission than an error of omission. And here, Skip does a great job of coming up with an offensive rebound, but takes a tough shot. He would have been more advised, I think, to get it back out and get a new 35-second count. But you can't fault him because it's a hustle play, and he does a terrific job.
Fran, these 2 new players for the Auburn Tigers. Number 20, Corey Watkins in the game, and we've seen Adrian Person in the first half as well. How difficult is it for a coach like Cliff Ellis to include those guys into a game plan that already has so many players?
Well, it would be less difficult if Auburn was 5-5 and struggling to find themselves. But what Cliff Ellis has done a great job of with early in the year is develop a team with depth. And Corey Watkins, who's a young man who just became eligible, who's a terrific player, as well as Person, have got to fit into the chemistry of this team. And that's not easy for a coach to do because you can't improve on 10-0.
Porter with 1 of 2. He's got 21 points now. Doc Robinson returns to the game. Reggie Sharp will take a break momentarily for Auburn.
Little half, three-quarter court, 1-3-1 pressure. And I think Auburn's doing this now to speed up the tempo of the game. Navy's gotten into a rhythm.
I didn't mean to interrupt your thought there.
And what happened, Dave, is Navy had gotten into a rhythm in their man-to-man defense. And Cliff changed up.
And Navy will keep the basketball. 41-32, exactly 2 minutes to go in the first half.
And let's see if he does it again. They've got a 1-3-1 trap. Now, Navy, as you mentioned, was shooting 57% against the half-court defense. And Cliff Ellis right here is just changing up and going to a 1-3-1 just to see if they can change up the rhythm of the game. But they don't want to foul and give Navy the opportunity to go to the line.
Bryant Smith is called on the foul as Williams tried to split the pressure, and John Williams will go back to the free throw line.
He's one of their better foul shooters at 65%.
One more to come for Williams. Both teams are in the double bonus. Navy at 6-1 started the season with wins over Rice, Northeastern, and Davidson. On November 28th, they were a loser at Air Force, and then they've rebounded for 3 consecutive wins at Belmont, at Wofford, and they defeated the Division III Coast Guard Academy on December the 7th. And lay off 12 days because of exams leading into this game against Auburn, and I'm sure that affected them a little bit, Fran.
Well, when you're taking mechanical engineering courses like a guy like Skip Victor is, or economics courses like Satava Savani, that's not an easy task.
Auburn with an 8-point lead. Robinson has the ball stripped by Victor. Williams, a good look at a 3, and knocks it down.
That's the kind of lift they need from him, and they're getting it as their 6th man. That's a terrific boost for the Midshipmen.
80 seconds to go, first half. Navy's back to within 5. Robinson, the runner, no good. Rebound, Josh Williams, and Navy putting the pedal to the metal right now. Victor for 3. Too strong. Robinson clears the boards for Auburn.
Well, Skip was feeling it. You got to like that. And he got a good look at the basket.
Inside of a minute to go, first half. Porter off the baseline. It's all going today for Chris Porter. He's got 23 to lead all scores. And Don DeVoe wants a 20-second timeout. 47.2 seconds to go in the first half.
That's what you call, as a coach, a rally killer. You know, and the crowd is starting to get excited and then gets quieted. And you really got to like this guy. He's taken 10 shots. He's got 23 points. And, you know, sometimes it's important for a really good player to know when to take over a game. The crowd started to get into it. Navy was starting to make a run. It cut it to 5. And Chris comes down and silences this pretty enthusiastic Navy crowd.
Chris Porter has been called the biggest impact signing at Auburn since Charles Barkley. Now that is high praise indeed. When you take a look at some of the terrific players that have come through Auburn, and many of the current players that have been at Auburn that are in the NBA. Chris Morris, Wesley Person, Chuck Person, and Charles Barkley. Would like to go back to work if the NBA ever chooses to.
Well, that's not bad company, the names you mentioned. And you know the thing you like about watching Chris Porter play with his teammates, they knew he was highly recruited coming in, and you can see how they really look for him. It's like a security blanket.
Navy trying to get a big emotional edge by getting closer to Auburn right here before halftime. Williams spins on Njai, and the Tigers just take the ball away.
I think they had a choice of who wanted to block that shot, Njai or Porter. Porter said, I'll let you have it.
Shot clock is off. Down to 20 seconds to go in the first half. And a 20-second timeout is called by Cliff Ellis with 21.6 to play in the first half.
Well, Damian Fishbeck was looking to go one-on-one right there, and that was a really nice play by Reggie Sharp to get the timeout and get the last shot of the half. This was a multiple choice question right here. Oh. Porter said, you take it. Njai said, no, you take it.
I think Porter actually got that block. They talked about Don DeVoe and his playing career at Ohio State. He was a reserve on that 1962 Ohio State team that was the national runner-up that season. And had John Havlicek and Mr. Memory, Jerry Lucas, was on that team.
That's right. Well, and he's got great basketball bloodlines. Another guy in that team was a guy named Bob Knight, who Don went to work for at Army. And of course, when you watch a Naval Academy play, there's a lot of that half-court defense, a good ball movement on offense that you see out of Bobby Knight's teams.
Looks like the Tigers will be content to hold it for one shot inside of 10 seconds to go. Robinson.
Nice dish.
And missed the layup. But the putback is up and in. Skipworth, good if it goes. And we have come to the end of the first half. And the fans come to their feet. They appreciate the effort from both teams. Auburn leads Navy at the end of the first half, 45-36. We'll return to Alumni Hall in Annapolis, Maryland in just a moment on Fox Sports Net.
His racing career started at age 5. Now, Jeff Gordon drives the winning colors as NASCAR's youngest Winston Cup Series champion in modern times. In commemoration of NASCAR's 50th anniversary, the Gold Performance Mint is proud to salute Jeff Gordon in Victory Lane with this limited edition 22-karat gold collector's card. Designed by renowned artist Sam Bass and authorized by Jeff Gordon, each card is individually numbered in an archival display case with an official registration certificate. Through this special TV offer, you can own this Jeff Gordon 22-karat gold foil collector card for only $19.95. And if you call now, we'll send you this official NASCAR 50th anniversary race ball absolutely free. Be one of the first to cross the finish line with your Gordon Gold Collector card and free NASCAR race ball. Here's how to order.
To order your Jeff Gordon Gold Collector card and your free official NASCAR 50th anniversary race ball, use your credit card and call 1-800-394-9494 toll free. That's 1-800-394-9494. Call now.
Now those fantastic restaurant onion creations can be made right in your own home. Introducing the Great American Steakhouse Onion Machine. It's easy, it's fun, and it's oh so onion delicious. Don't confuse the Steakhouse Onion Machine with those hard-to-use plastic gadgets that only do small onions. You start with a nice large onion, trim and clean, then remove the center. Place the onion under the stainless steel blades of your Steakhouse Onion Machine and push down. You'll have a perfect onion creation. Just dip it and cook it in oil or bake it in the oven. In no time, your onion is golden brown delicious, just like they serve it in the restaurant. It's a special treat for the kids and great for your own parties. Call now and get this deep frying basket and colorful recipe book. It's only $19.99. So order your Great American Steakhouse Onion Machine now.
To order the Onion Machine for only $19.99 plus shipping, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-215-4343. Sorry, no CODs.
The Auburn Tigers lead the Midshipmen of Navy 45-36 here at the break in what has been a very, very impressive first half of basketball between these two non-conference foes, Auburn of the SEC and Navy of the Patriot League. Dave Weekley along with Fran Fraschilla here at halftime, and Chris Porter, Fran, has just been outstanding. He leads all scorers with 23 points. He's really been the difference for Auburn.
He's definitely lived up to his billing. The great thing I like about him is he's gotten his offense, he's gotten his scoring within the flow of the offense. He's not taken a lot of shots, but he's been extremely productive, as evidenced by what he's done out here in the first half.
Early in the basketball game, it looked like that Auburn patented full court pressure was really bothering Navy, but I think Navy has really weathered that storm, and they've really come back in this game.
Well, they have. They were really excited about playing a ranked team on their court. You could tell that yesterday. I think the important thing right now is that they've weathered the storm. They've made some shots. They gave Auburn a dose of their own medicine by attacking the offensive boards, getting some easy baskets. They now have got to regroup at halftime to stay in this game coming down the home stretch.
Auburn's really been as good as advertised. They are 10 deep, and we've seen all 10 players here in the first half, and they are very, very aggressively crashing the boards. Auburn is controlling the rebounding.
Well, they are. That's the strength of their team with Njai Porter. David Hamilton, a freshman, comes off the bench. Cliff Ellis talked about the terrific depth that he had, but Don DeVoe has depth as well. He's utilized his bench. Fatigue's not going to be a factor, I don't think, in the second half, because both teams have played a lot of guys. I think both teams have played to their strengths, and that's why you have a high-scoring game at the half.
Fran, what do you think that the Navy midshipmen are going to have to do to get back in this game in the second half?
The first thing is they're going to find out who's guarding number 4, because they've got to control Chris Porter. There's no question about it. He's got 25 of the 45, so they've got to make him a marked man. Second thing they've got to do is eliminate easy baskets on Auburn's offensive boards. Thirdly, they've got to continue to pound the boards and get some easy baskets, maybe over the top of the press, maybe on second shots.
And speaking of the press, I think the Navy's press actually bothered Auburn, especially in the second portion of the first half.
Well, I think it did. You know, Don DeVoe was looking for some answers. Traditionally, they're a half-court defensive team, but they will press at times. And when you're down like they were midway through the first half, Don changed up the flow of the game, did a nice job, and got Navy back into this.
All right, Fran, we're looking forward to your conversation in just a moment with Auburn's veteran head coach, Cliff Ellis. We'll check that out when we return to Annapolis in a moment. We're at the break. Auburn leads Navy by 9.
You've seen commercials showing how fast Tarnex removes tarnish from a spoon. Now, we're introducing better than ever, safer than ever Tarnex that cleans your entire sterling silver or silver plate dinnerware all at once and instantly. Just place them in Tarnex, remove, thoroughly wash, and dry. Reformulated Tarnex works instantly on the most intricately designed sterling, silver plate and gold platters, trays and dishes. It works just as fast on copper pots and pans. Wonderful for silver rings, bracelets, buckles, and earrings. And it's guaranteed to be the fastest and easiest sterling, silver plate, gold, platinum, and copper cleaner you've ever used, or return to place of purchase for a full refund.
Tarnex is available at Walgreens, Winn-Dixie, Eckerd Drug, Kroger, Kmart, Ace, Roses, Rite Aid, True Value, CVS.
Have you ever bought a new computer, then had a question about it, and then you asked your spouse and your kid, and it was 7 o'clock, and the computer store was closed, and the guy next door who knows everything about computers was on vacation? Why not get help 24 hours a day? Go to Dell. We've won PC Magazine's award for desktop reliability and service 3 years in a row. Right now, you can get a Dell Dimension computer powered by an Intel Pentium 2 processor at 400 megahertz. You'll get a 12.9 gig hard drive with enough storage to use neat stuff like digital cameras. Plus, you'll get a 17-inch monitor, a 4.8x DVD-ROM drive, Altec Lansing speakers with subwoofer, and it comes preloaded with Microsoft Windows 98 with Home Essentials and Money 98 to do, oh boy, money stuff. It's a good thing it only costs $19.99. Dell Dimension with an Intel Pentium 2 processor at 400 megahertz. Just $19.99. To order, go directly to the source. Dell, be direct.
Well, this is what a sorority house looks like.
120 top teams in the only college basketball game for the Nintendo 64. Fox Sports College Hoops 99. It's easier on your own than the real thing.
Funky, donkey.
Sports games, Fox attitude.
It's halftime here at Alumni Hall. Navy and Auburn getting after it. Earlier today, our Fran Fraschilla sat down with the veteran coach of the Tigers, Cliff Ellis.
Thanks, Dave. I'm here with Coach Ellis at halftime. And, Coach, in talking to you, getting ready for this Navy game, I got a feeling you like this team. What is it about the team that you like?
Well, we've got great chemistry, and it's a ball club that plays hard, plays well together. A team that goes all out on defense, rebounds extremely well, pushes the ball on the break, and they're very unselfish. And they deserve the accolades that have come their way. But every time we play, we've now become hunted as opposed to being the hunter.
Now, you've added a guy named Chris Porter, who was a junior college All-American, a kid from Abbeville, Alabama. What's he meant to this team?
Well, we both saw him in Tallahassee, Florida a year ago. We were both in the stands watching this guy, and we know what talent he is. It's a matter of adjusting to Division I play. He can do it all. It's a pleasure and an honor to coach him. He's certainly headed for great things in college basketball. Will be a premier player in the SEC.
He's a guy that I think can take you to another level at times.
He already has. I think he's been a big part. Two things have made our team better. One is Chris Porter. The second thing is depth, Fran. We've got a deeper team. I guess the only thing about it, a lot of our depth is it's young kids and freshmen who are playing for the first time. And freshmen can be up and down, but we've also added a couple more players during the Christmas break, and Adrian Person and Corey Watkins, so it makes us a deeper team. But we've got to make sure the chemistry stays and holds together.
Well, as you get ready to go into conference play, I think having a guy like Brian Smith, who's been around for 4 years now, it gives you a little bit of stability as well.
Exactly right. He's been around for 4 years. There's only 2 seniors on this team, and that's why I like this team. It's still a young team, and the future's ahead of them. But Brian Smith and Adrian Chillis, the 2 seniors, have given us great leadership, and we know in basketball how important that is. Chemistry, you can look at a lot of your seniors for that because they've helped mix it. It's like a pot of stew. It's all come together in the right time.
Well, Dave, Coach Ellis has got Auburn off to the best start in 40 years, and we're going to send it back to you.
Thanks, Fran. The second half is still to come here on Fox Sports Net. College basketball this afternoon from Annapolis, Maryland. We'll be back with more from Alumni Hall in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Deerdorf. Where would you go for a home equity loan? Let's ask.
Oh, banks have the best rates.
But banks only lend money when you don't need it.
Advanta National Bank is different. They lend money to people when they need it.
Right. With my credit?
They made their first loans 45 years ago to teachers who had trouble borrowing. They helped out when others wouldn't.
This is a bank, right?
With customers who get the flexibility only a national bank can offer, right over the phone.
Got to move all your accounts there.
Nope, just call Advanta. One of their loan specialists will show you how to use the equity in your home to pay off all of your bills. Get one low monthly payment and save hundreds of dollars a month, plus a tax deduction.
You'll wait for some board to approve.
You'll get fast approval over the phone. And your money in about 10 days. You don't need to have money in the bank to get money from a bank. To get the loan you want, call Advanta at 1-800-507-9840. You'll see they're different. Hey, they don't keep bankers' hours either.
The attack continues. Nashville's Sergei Krivakrazov will lead a pack of fierce predators north of the border to face off against legendary Mark Messier and the Vancouver Canucks. The Predators battle the Canucks tonight at 10 on Fox Sports South.
You don't get in this kind of shape running on a treadmill. You do it with strength exercise, and I do it with the Bowflex. You know, if you're not working out with strength training right now, you need to. Because if you want to lose weight, you got to add the muscle, and that's why you need a Bowflex machine. It's like nothing else you've ever tried before. We've got over 60 exercises you can do on a Bowflex. You're never going to get bored. You can do a full workout in 20 minutes on a Bowflex machine. You're not going to believe how effective Bowflex is the first time you get on it. Bowflex may look a little different, but that's because we designed it to function correctly. Bowflex uses power rod resistance. Bowflex power rods are so effective that Bowflex guarantees results in 6 weeks or your money back. Try going to the gym and getting a guarantee on results. You won't find it. If you call and get our free videotape, you're going to see an effective workout and see how easy and quick and fun working out with Bowflex is.
You're watching Fox Sports South.
Welcome back inside Alumni Hall on the campus of the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. Well, Santa incognito, Fran.
He's supposed to be busy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if he was in town, I can understand him checking out this game. And there's a couple of guys who are looking for some toys next week. Pretty interesting game. Auburn, they have got some athletes, and they've got some young talent, too. Witness Mr. Hamilton inside the freshman from Compton, California.
And it came off a great feed from Chris Porter, who not only had 23 points, but 6 rebounds, 3 assists. One of the assists right there.
And you mentioned Porter. What a half he's had.
Well, he's a terrific scorer. He scored from a variety of ways. He's known as an inside player, but when you have the ability to knock down a 15-footer, you become doubly tough to guard.
Leads all scorers with 23 points, 8 of 10 from the field for the Mids on the fast break. Well, Victor to Skipworth.
Well, Skip Victor's got 9 points, 5 assists. Here's one of the assists. And you got to get some easy baskets against a really good half-court defensive team like Auburn.
You know, we've talked a lot about the Auburn bench. Well, Navy's bench has been outstanding as well.
Well, John Williams, a local product from Broadneck High School. 8 points in the first half. A couple coming from threes, wide open. And he's going to knock that shot down.
Knocks it right down. Auburn 45, Navy 36 at the break. And I think Navy really survived that first wave of full court pressure defense, getting a look at the athleticism of Auburn. This is a ball game.
Well, first 3 minutes of the second half is crucial to Navy. They've got to stay in it and if possible, cut the margin down from 9. Auburn, on the other hand, wants to get off to a quick start, extend the lead, and see if they get Navy in a situation where they give up. We know they're not going to give up, but Auburn certainly wants to get that lead extended out beyond 9.
Dave Weekley and Fran Fraschilla in Annapolis will return and have the second half. Auburn and Navy coming up.
Have you ever bought a new computer, then had a question about it, and then you asked your spouse and your kid, and it was 7 o'clock, and the computer store was closed, and the guy next door who knows everything about computers was on vacation? Why not get help 24 hours a day? Go to Dell. We've won PC Magazine's award for desktop reliability and service 3 years in a row. Right now, you can get a Dell Dimension computer powered by an Intel Pentium 2 processor at 400 megahertz. You'll get a 12.9 gig hard drive with enough storage to use neat stuff like digital cameras. Plus, you'll get a 17-inch monitor, a 4.8x DVD-ROM drive, Altec Lansing speakers with subwoofer, and it comes preloaded with Microsoft Windows 98 with Home Essentials and Money 98 to do, oh boy, money stuff. It's a good thing it only costs $19.99. Dell Dimension with an Intel Pentium 2 processor at 400 megahertz. Just $19.99. To order, go directly to the source. Dell, be direct.
What did I miss about sports? I missed going to the 5-hole and hit one into the cheap seats. I missed saying, he's day-to-day. We're all day-to-day. I missed coining absolutely useless catchphrases that your children will mimic incessantly. I missed rushing past the names Vitaly Potapenko and Zenon Andershushin at 90 miles an hour. I missed saying happy, happy, joy, joy in a world where there just is not enough of it.
Premier League has arrived.
Oh, what a stunning strike!
Each week, Fox Sports Net has the biggest stars in international soccer and the legendary league's most famous clubs. Plus, up-to-the-minute news and reports from the greatest soccer circuit in the world. Man United look to build on their European success. Middlesbrough wants to claim another Premier League victim. English Premier League Soccer, Sunday at 7 on Fox Sports Net.
Auburn 45, Navy 36. Both teams have returned to the court. The second half of action is coming up. And we found some Auburn fans.
Make the trip.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the first half stats. A couple of things that jump out immediately. You know, Navy's such a great defensive team, Fran, but Auburn shot 55% from the field in the first half. And how many times do you see the visiting team with more free throws at the break? That's odd, too.
Well, when you got the kind of team Auburn does, a big physical team that really hangs its hat on scoring inside, that's not unusual. And that 55% is due in large part because Chris Porter went 8 for 10 from the field and did a terrific job of scoring in a variety of ways.
And in fact, Auburn took only one three-point attempt and has is. A 9-point lead at the break tells you all you need to know about how the Tigers are pushing the ball inside. As we check the leading scores, Porter is the man for the Tigers.
Well, I tell you, he's the only guy in double figures, and he's certainly been a man among boys here today.
And as far as Navy goes, coming into play today, they had 4 players averaging in double figures, and their scoring once again is very, very balanced. So the Auburn Tigers with a 9-point lead, thanks to that man, number 4, Chris Porter. The junior college transfer will get the basketball first.
It's not often in the first half of a game that a coach has the luxury of getting 13 players into the lineup, which Cliff Ellis did. I think that also helps, although it hurts a little bit in terms of continuity, it certainly helps team chemistry. And you know you're going to get into the games.
And both teams will start the second half with their original starting lineups. This is Doc Robinson, number 50, the point guard for the Auburn Tigers. To Pullman. Pullman would like to get off offensively here. He had a very quiet first half. Njai back to Porter.
Auburn does a nice job, Dave, of running motion offense. And that's a good example of Reggie Skipworth is following Scott Pullman around the screen and fouls him. But they do a really nice job of moving the ball and making sure all 5 guys touch it. Njai was out away from the basket, handling it, and it really makes you difficult to guard when you have that kind of spacing and movement in your offense.
Following the foul on Skipworth, a fresh 35 for the Auburn Tigers. This is Porter. Hey, he's human. He missed a shot. Smith had the ball stripped, still on the floor, and now the players are on the floor. Porter had it, but I think he may have fallen on the end line, and it will go to Navy.
Good hustle play by both teams, really, but Chris Porter, for a guy who is a scorer, is not afraid to get down and dirty as he dives after that ball with Skip Victor. A couple of these Navy guys look like they should be playing for the Naval Academy football team. That's some good, impressive athletes.
Charlie Weatherby runs a great football program for Navy. Navy is an independent in football, but of course in basketball and other sports they are in the Patriot League. Skip Victor had 9 points in the first half. Savani also had an outstanding first half, but he can't control the pass down low that time, and Pullman comes out of there with it for Auburn. Back to Doc Robinson. The athletic 360 spin puts it home with the right hand. It's an 11-point edge for Auburn.
And you got to keep Doc Robinson out of the lane. He's creative and a penetrator, and more often than not, he's looking for other people, but that time he gets a chance to get a couple for himself.
Savani, 55 in white. Back to Skipworth. Chris Williams, the floater off the baseline.
And that basket was set up by Scott Pullman trying to gamble and get a cheap basket. When he misses the steal, it puts a lot of pressure on the other Auburn players, and Chris Williams is found open on the baseline.
Pullman takes it down to the baseline. Back to Porter.
Got away with a travel.
And he knocks it down. 25 points for Porter. Now he's got more than half of Auburn's points in this game. He's got 25 of Auburn's 49. Williams inside. Can't get it to go, but he'll go to the line.
When you watch Scott Pullman right here, and you see right here he gambles. Once he does that, they're now 5-on-4 everywhere else on the court. Brian Smith's got to help out because of the mistake, and that leaves his man, Chris Williams, open on the baseline. Good offensive recognition. I think Scott Pullman would like to do that one over.
And another one is coming for Williams.
When
Mike Cunningham enters the games, replacing Savani for Navy.
And Dave, when you play a team that's ranked like Auburn and you want to have a chance to beat them, you've got to be perfect in a number of areas. And one of the things you got to do is you got to make your free throws. The Navy hadn't done that today, and that's hurt them because they would be in a little bit closer.
Cunningham went into the lane on the hesitation free throw moves by Williams. It's a lane violation, and Auburn takes the ball.
We almost jumped into the lane.
Yeah, we did. Inside of 18 minutes to go in the game now. Auburn's got the ball, an 11-point lead. What a day it's been for Chris Porter. Rattled out. Cunningham had it. Ball was stripped and now thrown away. Robinson with the steal.
That's a tough decision by Reggie Skipworth. Chris Porter's everywhere, isn't he?
What a move by Robinson. No good, but the follow is hammered down through the cylinder by Bryant Smith. And another steal.
Auburn pressure, and that's exactly what they want. They want just a little run. It may be 1 or 2 or 3 turnovers, and all of a sudden it could be the difference in Navy staying in the game or not.
Well, when you watch their pressure, Fran, it's hard to believe they've only got 5 guys out there.
Well, and here, this is just relentless offensive rebounding by Bryant Smith. And then you see they just stay right in their press. They press on made baskets, and it just takes one poke away, and they're in business. And it's funny, Dave, that one offensive rebound basket by Bryant Smith, we used to tell our players that when you drive baseline, shoot it. So the offensive rebounders know to crash the backside of the boards, and that's exactly what happened. Bryant Smith was in solid basketball position to get the foul. And I really like the way Bryant Smith, who's been an all-SEC performer, and there's another offensive rebound.
Holman, that's an NBA 3, and he knocks it down. That was a 27-footer.
And Bryant Smith made the extra pass. You see, it just takes a little run and a couple turnovers, and it really can be a backbreaker for Navy.
Skip Victor, and a block is called as Victor goes hard to the hole, and Smith will be whistled for the foul. And wow, you know, that full court pressure that Auburn employed here at the beginning of the second half has just blown this game open. It's 55-38.
Well, here's what I really like about, what I really like about Bryant Smith is he just got called for block, but he made the extra pass. He had a steal on the press. He had an offensive rebound follow. And this is a guy, Dave, that was an all-SEC performer last year, and he's really put his game and his ego in check to be part of what is going to turn out to be a pretty good basketball team this year.
Oh, no question. Holman is called for the personal as he tried to strip the basketball from Chris Worthing.
Chris Worthing is from Inman, Kansas. It's a suburb of Hutchinson, Kansas, if you can believe that, which is on the outskirts of Wichita.
Porter deflected the ball and stole the ball. Nice pass and a great block by Cunningham. Smith was going hard to the rim for a two-handed flush, and Cunningham said, "No, sir."
Cunningham is one of those young developing sophomores. Don DeVoe, we talked about, has 8 sophomores. Cunningham is a guy that's just getting some playing time. This experience today going against Chris Porter is something that's really going to help him and the Navy team as the year goes on.
Victor brings it into the front court as the Mids break that full court pressure defense by Auburn.
Really important they keep their composure right here.
Williams with a sweeping hook shot.
Well, Josh Williams releases that ball by his letters, but I think it's so unorthodox it probably caught them by surprise.
Robinson's shot to the goal is blocked away. This is Williams. Wave off the basket, offensive foul.
And there's one more example of Bryant Smith being in the right place at the right time, making a play that really doesn't show up much in the statistics. And I'm really impressed with this guy. This guy was one of the best players in the SEC this year. And right now, Dave, he's really their second, third, or fourth option on his team, but a great team player and a great team leader, being the one senior that really contributes a lot for the Tigers.
Cliff Ellis says that Smith doesn't really even have to score to be an effective team leader. Doc Robinson took a long way home, gets the foul from Victor, and will go to the line for 2.
Well, that was a broken play because I know that play. And Chris Porter was yelling at Doc Robinson to get to the other side of the court so they could run the play. But by the time Doc got there, he had the easy lane to the basket and got fouled.
Now Don DeVoe is in an unusual situation for him, looking at a big deficit here at home. Navy has been practically unbeatable on this court in recent years.
Well, this is a great test for Navy. As we said earlier, they've lost 8 lettermen, and I think Don is as surprised as anybody that they're 6-1. But from what I see today, they've got a chance to be an excellent Patriot League team.
Navy's got the ball, but Auburn's got a 16-point edge, 56-40. Skip Victor gets around Porter. Williams thought about a 3. Boy, Auburn turning up the heat defensively. Victor rises, can't get it to go. Williams, the rebound, takes it to the baseline, knocks it in. Navy needed that badly.
Well, that's what you expect out of your sixth man, to give you a lift, and Williams has certainly done that today.
Smith going backdoor to Porter. He's fouled. He'll go to the line.
Great look by Brian Smith. And Chris Porter, I know, appreciates that. And Brian Smith, again, just does the little things that a coach really likes. It's a great look. You know, he had an opportunity, Dave, to take the ball to the basket. Chris Porter was wide open, and Brian Smith made the correct play. You know, he was voted the team's top defender last year as a junior. And when you add what he brings to the mix in terms of his passing ability, his ability to get offensive rebounds, do the little things, that's something the coach is always looking for.
Porter now with 27. Nearly twice his per-game average. And the ball is out of bounds, and Auburn will keep it. Time to step aside from Alumni Hall in Annapolis, Maryland. 15:24 to go. Auburn putting the pedal to the metal. They lead by 15.
The Patriot League. 7 schools united in a commitment to excellence both in the classroom and on the field. We produce true student athletes in NCAA Division I programs. The Patriot League boasts the highest graduation rate of any league in the country. And our level of play is second to none. The Patriot League. Integrity, excellence, commitment in both men's and women's sports. We display the traditions and values of collegiate athletics every day.
Calcium, lime, rust. Hard water minerals that build up to leave stubborn stains that you just can't scrub away. Industrial strength CLR makes those hard water deposits disappear. Look how quickly it dissolves the lime buildup on this humidifier filter. And if rubbing and scrubbing doesn't get your coffee decanter clean, CLR will make it look new again. That bitter taste will disappear when you clean your coffee maker with CLR. If your washing machine is leaving rust stains on fabric, run CLR through a wash cycle and see the difference. Calcium deposits make your shower head spray in all directions, but just dip it in CLR. Instantly, it will spray like new again. CLR works just as fast and easy on tubs, basins, and toilet bowl stains. Watch how fast and easy it removes rust stains from cement and stucco. Get money-back guaranteed CLR at all leading stores.
You'll find CLR at Walgreens, Eckerd Drug, Ingalls, CVS, Winn-Dixie, Lowe's, Rite Aid, True Value, Ace, Kmart.
And there's a good look at the parade ground here in Annapolis at the United States Naval Academy. And Fran Fraschilla here in the second half. It's been a parade to the basket by the Auburn Tigers. They've expanded a 9-point halftime edge to a 15-point advantage over the Mids, 57-42.
Well,
and Auburn has the basketball.
And that's what we talked about. It was really important for each team to get out to a quick start. Auburn has.
Set play off the out of bounds. And the ball is controlled momentarily by Cunningham, and then Smith got it back for Auburn. Reggie Sharp tried to get the ball down to Porter on the baseline. Skip Victor stepped on the end line, and Auburn will keep it.
Don DeVos inserted Devon Shepard into the game, a young man that's only played 9 minutes this year, hasn't taken a shot in college, and it's not often that a freshman, Dave, will play a lot of minutes here at the academy. And it's a good time for Devon to get a little experience against the 18th ranked Auburn Tigers. That's going to pay dividends in the Patriot League.
Reggie Sharp is back in running the point now for Auburn. Porter, what a game he's had. Number 4 in the dark jerseys for the Tigers, 27 points, and he's looking for more. Cunningham has been impressive off the bench for Navy. Clears the board, gets it to Skip Victor. Can't get a 15-point edge all back at once. What you got to do is be efficient in your half-court sets and try to tighten it up defensively at the other end.
It's important right now for Don DeVoe to just get that lead down under 10.
Victor. Njai sends it out.
Very close to goaltending, but a heck of a play and a heck of a block.
Porter goes high for the rebound and was able to tip it back to a teammate.
Chris Porter was touching the clouds on that one.
Man.
I think he needed clearance from the National Airport.
Coleman with another 3 try, missed again. Look at the way Auburn's just crashing the boards, and Porter is down. It's a breakout for Navy. And that will be a goaltend. And Porter, the most outstanding player for either team in this game, is now down underneath the Auburn basket.
What he did, Dave, he went to the offensive boards relentlessly on that play, and I think he ran into his own man. But when you play as hard as he does, those things are going to happen. He's really been everywhere.
See if we can pick up the injury.
Well, he crashed into Njai. And you know, when you've got a guy playing that hard, you want to see that. But we talked about Njai and Porter going hard to the offensive boards, and there's a perfect example. Njai, I think, didn't know his own strength.
Porter has just had a marvelous game to this point. 27 points, 9 of 14 from the field, 9 of 14 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds. Here's another look.
Well, Chris Porter comes from nowhere. You see the shot goes up by Scott Coleman. And as Chris comes into the picture, and I think Mike Cunningham has also got a piece of him. I hope Chris is okay, but I think he's going to have a headache tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Nice thing about having the kind of depth that Cliff Ellis has is that he's able to bring David Hamilton into the game, a freshman who is going to develop into a fine player.
Just under 14 minutes to go in the game. Auburn's 57, Navy 44. Auburn off to a terrific start, 10-0, ranked 19th in the Associated Press rankings this week. Second in the nation in the computer rankings. And those computer rankings go a long way to determine who gets bids for the NCAA tournament. Robinson, the spin, Njai, the flush.
When you shoot a shot from that part of the court, 70% of the time the ball's going to rebound to the other side, and Njai was in perfect position for the offensive rebound. That's just good court awareness by the big guy.
Williams nearly lost the handle.
It's important right here for Navy to keep their composure. There's a lot of time left. They've just got to get it under 10 and then worry about coming back.
Williams is able to knock down a three.
He's really given him a nice lift. He's a guy that Don DeVoe told us, Dave, did not have a Division I scholarship. It's kind of funny about John Williams. His mom gives tours here at the academy, John being a local product. And his brother Chris is a recent graduate as well.
Well, you know, it's really funny, Fran, and you know a lot about recruiting because you were outstanding at that part of basketball when you were a head coach. We watched Chris Porter today. What a great player, great athletic talent. But when he was in high school in Lower Alabama, the only teams that were really interested in him were Auburn and Mississippi State.
Well, oftentimes a kid from a rural area will get a little bit overlooked, and Auburn was fortunate enough to sign him. And then he went to junior college at Chipola, where he played for Carl Nash, who's a former assistant at Auburn. So they had that little pipeline going, but certainly Chris was not as well known as some of the other top players around the country.
Pull up by Reggie Sharp, the sophomore from Shannon, Mississippi, knocks it down. Williams.
That's a great
and
post
he gets
feed.
a dunk.
Terrific post feed by John Williams. Josh Williams sealed his man and had a wide open look to the basket, but the play was set up by a great post feed from the top by John Williams.
Williams to Williams. Sounds like a DC law firm. Holman. He's got that stroke working now. He was very quiet in the first half, but now Scott Holman is really starting to light it up. 63-49. 12-point lead to the Tigers. 12 minutes to go in the game. Shepard, 20 and white, running the point now for Navy. Freshman from Albany, New York. Cunningham hit the side of the board, then Njai knocked his shot out of bounds. .11:49 to go in the game. Njai and the Auburn Tigers lead by 14.
the zone, and that'll be icing.
The Sabres bring in the Dominator to hold off the Hurricanes. Monday at 7 on Fox Sports South.
Hi, I'm Dick Clark, and now everyone can enjoy the freedom of the new ISIS cellular phone from Philips thanks to prepaid cellular.
Introducing prepaid cellular from Worldwide Direct. With prepaid cellular phone cards, there's no monthly bills.
Take the phone just in case.
Thank you.
And no contract, no credit check, and no deposit. Got car trouble?
My car's broken down. Can you come and help?
Help is just a call away. So forget those outrageous phone bills. With prepaid cellular phone cards, buying airtime is easy. Order from home and the phone arrives at your door ready to use. Get the Philips ISIS prepaid cellular phone. A $199 value, now just 3 easy payments of $33. And there's no contract, no credit check, no deposit, and no monthly bills.
So pick up the phone, America. It's for you.
Now, for only 3 payments of $33, you're guaranteed cellular service regardless of your credit history. Call 1-800-841-1237. Pick up the phone, America. It's for you.
Auburn leads by 14 at Navy this afternoon, but the Mids with some great passing. John Williams to Josh Williams.
One of the things you like John Williams did was he passed around his man. And the one thing you like as a coach inside of Josh Williams did a nice job of sealing David Hamilton to the inside. Great pass and the flush.
John Williams with a great pass there, and Williams off the bench leads the Midshipmen in scoring with 13 points today. Cunningham working hard and got it to go. Up over Porter. Porter's back in the game for Auburn. He's got a bruised back.
But that was a terrific move by Mike Cunningham, using his offhand, the left hand, to finish. That's a terrific play for a young player to make.
You know, Navy continues to hang around in this game, Fran. They're only down 12 here at home with plenty of time to go. Sharp can't get it to go. The rebound by Williams. Steal by Sharp.
That's a tough play.
Porter couldn't get it to go. Long rebound controlled by Auburn, and Sharp traveled. Navy will get the ball back.
Well, one of the things Navy's got to do right here is, as you said earlier, they're not going to get it all back at once. They just have to stay in striking distance. As a coach, you want to try to get it to 10 first and then to 5 and not try to make there's no such thing as a 10-point play. They've got to work at it bucket by bucket.
You're going to count that?
I think that was before, but I'll tell you what, that's going to make the evening news highlights.
I think so, too. Skipworth wanted the bucket, but the foul comes before the shot. What a circus shot.
Now, I'll tell you, this was a horse game. This is a horse game right here. Doc Robinson is out.
I don't know, Fran. Looking at that replay, I think you can make a pretty good argument that this should have counted.
So right there, I think the official, one of the things officials have to do is sell their call. The official was very adamant that foul happened on the ground. Auburn's gone to a 2-3 zone off the inbounds first time today. And let's see what Navy does to counteract.
The Midshipmen have recognized the Auburn defense. Skipworth with the skip pass down to John Williams. Williams will fire for 3. No good. Smith clears the board for Auburn. And our officials today, Tony Green, Sean Hall, and Joe Lindsey Jr., they called an outstanding game at this point.
There's been a lot of action around the basket, which makes it even more important that they've really had control of the game. Both teams very physical, good rebounding teams. We have seen a bunch of shot blocking today on both teams.
We sure have. Williams.
That foul, Savani had the foul.
That's his 4th.
And Williams, block was clean, foul happened before.
17 fouls now on Navy, so Auburn will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Sharp exits. Pullman returns for the Tigers.
It'll be interesting to see what Coach DeVoe does. Satafa Savani does have the 4 fouls. At this point in the game, you've got a decision to make as to whether to leave him in or to save him. It's getting to that point in the game where there's no reason to save him.
14-point lead for Auburn. Skipworth gets a pick. And Williams can't control the pass.
Sean Murray's in the game, a sophomore, another one of those 8 sophomores from Portland, Oregon. And this is, I think Don is using this as a really good opportunity to get some guys playing time that's going to really pay dividends as the year goes on.
Don DeVoe used some of the time on that long break for exams to visit recruits, spent some time down in Georgia, but Navy recruits nationally.
Well, they're obviously one of the great institutions in the world, and have that opportunity to pick out some of the best student athletes from around the country to come here to the academy.
We spent some time talking earlier in the game, Fran, about the steal by Smith, and he's immediately fouled by Williams. We spent some time earlier in the game talking about the junior college transfers that have really made a big impact on this Auburn program. Chris Porter has just been outstanding today. Pearson got into the lineup. His first action for Auburn, but Navy doesn't accept junior college transfers.
Well, they go about it a different way. They have to really be more selective than really anybody else, in Division I. Auburn certainly has some solid student athletes, but when you talk about the Naval Academy, it's a very rigorous entrance examination. In fact, as I look at my SAT scores growing up, some of these guys doubled mine just to get in here to the academy. You got to be a special student to get here to the Naval Academy, and also to play the level of basketball that Don DeVoe has him playing. Takes to be a special basketball player as well.
Smith rattles home a pair. It's a 16-point edge for Auburn, 67-51, inside of 10 minutes to go in the game.
Auburn's going to extend that zone and look for Navy to look to the baseline or the middle as some of the soft areas of the zone.
Victor has his pass stolen by Smith. And Smith, with those hands, he is cat quick on defense.
Well, he does so many little things to make Auburn go besides the scoring, as we talked about.
Doc Robinson, the veteran point guard from Selma, pulls it back out for Auburn, and they reset the offense.
Really important right here, for Navy to keep their composure. On the other hand, I think it's equally important that Cliff Ellis's team doesn't feel like this game is in the bag. There's too much time remaining.
It seems hard to believe that these two veteran coaches who have 858 wins combined between them, Cliff Ellis and Don DeVoe, have only faced each other 2 times. Last year's game on the Plains and today's game here in Annapolis. And there's the big freshman from California, David Hamilton, putting in 2 off the window.
Well, and Don DeVoe's no stranger to SEC basketball, coaching at Tennessee for a number of years, and has some outstanding teams, and coached at Florida for years, interim coach.
He was the coach of the year in the SEC in 1982. We'll head back to the other end to shoot some free throws. And Savani has fouled out of the game. That's his 5th personal foul.
Well, this is going to give Don a chance to play some other people. And Savani, really an aggressive player. I think this experience today playing against Njai and Porter and Hamilton is really going to pay dividends for him throughout the year. And as we said at the top of the show, Dave, Navy's going to have a very good basketball team. The Patriot League is going to be there's going to be some good teams. Lafayette's very good. Navy's been picked with 1, 2 in many of the magazines. If Navy has the type of year that they may have and get back to the NCAA tournament, a game like today is going to be one of those games that reminds me of a first-round matchup. So the experience here today is certainly going to pay off for them.
Yeah, in the Patriot League, in addition to Lafayette, Bucknell is also expected to have a strong team. And when you talk about Patriot League basketball, you can never really count out Holy Cross. They have such great tradition.
Well, the great thing about the Patriot League is really the epitome of what student athletes are all about. Very solid academic institutions with high standards and good basketball as well.
Porter now with 29 points. Auburn with its largest lead, 71-51, a 20-point advantage. The Tigers led by 9 at the break, and they have really pushed out the lead here in the second half. Victor misfires on a 3. A rebound try, no good by Josh Hill.
It's going to be a good opportunity for Auburn to run the half-court offense. And
Victor to steal. Controlled it and got it to go.
And what I should have said was a good opportunity to work on their half-court offense. As Skip Victor puts great pressure on the ball.
And a travel is called on Robinson. 7:54 to go in the game. Auburn looking good on the road, leading Navy by 18, 71-53. Come back on Fox Sports Net.
How come so many professional athletes wear copper bracelets? Hey, that's Chichi Rodriguez.
I think my energy band improves my golf game.
Now you too can have the Chichi Rodriguez Energy Band. It combines the power of copper with the harmonizing power of magnetics.
He really looks good, too.
The Energy Band is beautifully crafted from solid copper, then electroplated in genuine 24-karat gold with a stunning white gold accent. Patent-pending magnets make it truly unique, and it's designed to comfortably fit your wrist. Copper and magnetic bracelets sell in catalogs for up to $150 and more. But the Chichi Rodriguez Energy Band is yours for only $19.95. Order yours now while supplies last.
That's being a winner.
To order, use your credit card and call 1-800-943-0505. That's 1-800-943-0505. Or send check or money order to the address on your screen. Call and order right now.
Auburn leads Navy by 18. And Skip Victor with the steal. He took it all the way, and to the victor goes the spoils.
Well, Reggie Skipworth had a circus shot before, and this is another horse shot. That's a shot that would win in a horse game. But I'm not sure Skip Victor planned it that way.
You know, Auburn's shooting percentage here in the second half, they're shooting just under 35%, but they're doing everything else right. They're knocking down some threes. They're coming up with some turnovers, and they've blown this thing open. Now with an 18-point lead. Navy could use a three. And a travel is called on Hill as he turned to the basket. And you're exactly right, Fran. Navy's starting to get their younger people into the game now. Get some experience against this big, athletic team from the SEC, the Auburn Tigers.
Well, Navy's got a couple games coming up this week, and then they'll head out to Arizona State for a Christmas tournament. So this is a good opportunity. Again, as we've emphasized, this is a young basketball team and a good experience for them today.
You see the bench scoring, Navy with the edge there. And most of those points were scored by Savani and John Williams. Porter again, he's got 31.
And that's not bad for a guy that's got a bruised back.
He's got a bruised back, but he's bruising some egos here in Annapolis today. Let me tell you, he's had a great game. Victor for three, knocks it down.
Well, we talked about him being a team leader today, and he's done some things offensively and defensively. That's 16 for him.
Skip Victor really started to play well last year when he was moved off the point to the two-guard spot. Robinson, he lined up a three, couldn't get it to go. Going high for the rebound for Navy was Reggie Skipworth from Chattanooga.
Auburn back to man.
73-56, 6.5 minutes to go in the game. Big Josh Williams at the point looking in. Oh, and the block by Porter. Skipworth is able to corral the ball. Williams.
That's a nice job by Josh Williams. He's very active on the boards. You know, they came in as well with a plus 12 rebounding margin, Navy, and they've certainly at times shown that they're willing to bang as well. Josh Williams, just an active guy. You know, we talked about the free throw shooting, but really he brings a lot to this team. He's averaging 12 points a game. He's a senior and a very active player around the goal.
Another one one to come for Williams. You talked about the rebounding margin, Fran. That's a category that Navy has virtually owned here in the Patriot League. They've led the Patriot League in rebounding margin 6 straight years. They finished in the top 10 nationally in rebounding margin in 3 out of the last 4 years. So Don DeVoe's guys, they block out and they go hard to the hole.
Well, and that's why this is a great test for them today, because they're playing a team that does have the #1 rebounding margin in the country in Auburn, and really will help them.
And Auburn is dominating the boards in this game. Doc Robinson on the pull-up, got it to go. 75-57 inside of 6 minutes to go in the game today. Glad you could join us for college basketball right here on Fox Sports Net. Dave Weekley and Fran Fraschilla, so happy to be in Annapolis, Maryland for this matchup. Two teams that don't see each other very often, Navy and Auburn. This is Auburn's first ever trip into Annapolis to play basketball. In fact, 4 of the 6 meetings all time between these two teams came in tournament play.
Well, this has been a good test for Auburn today, and they'll get something out of this, and Navy certainly will too, because they will not see anybody as athletic as Auburn, I think, the rest of the season.
They've got a big non-conference test coming up, though, against Arizona State. That'll be an interesting game. Robinson leads the break. It's a 4-on-2. Pullman couldn't get it to go, but the Njai is there for the tap-in.
Well, Njai is a smart player. When you take a shot like Scott Pullman did, we know it's called basketball physics, Dave, that basket's going to bounce the other side of the board, and Njai was there.
Navy wants to call a timeout, and we will take it with them. 5:08 to go in the game. Auburn leads the Mids by 20.
The Patriot League. 7 schools united in a commitment to excellence both in the classroom and on the field. We produce true student athletes in NCAA Division I programs. The Patriot League boasts the highest graduation rate of any league in the country, and our level of play is second to none. The Patriot League. Integrity, excellence, commitment in both men's and women's sports. We display the traditions and values of collegiate athletics every day.
Perennial powers meet again. The defending champions take on the Cardinals. Stanford, Tennessee, today at 3 on Fox Sports South.
Yo, check this out.
The march to the madness is on. First, Georgia takes on Fresno State. Then USC battles ECU. Doubleheader action begins today at 5 on Fox Sports South.
Meet Wayne Best. He saw the kids in his community without direction and did something about it. He got them off the streets and put them to work, teaching important lessons in community service, responsibility, and helping others. So he can spend more time on foxsports.com, where he enters his zip code to get the latest on his favorite home teams. It's like Fox Sports Net online.
Auburn 77, Navy 57. 5 minutes to go in the game here from Alumni Hall in Annapolis, Maryland, on the campus of the United States Naval Academy. And there's the man, if you're an Auburn Tiger fan. Chris Porter, what an outstanding game he's had. 31 points to go along with 10 rebounds. Not sure if he's going to drive the bus home, but he's really done it all for Auburn today.
I don't think he'll have to drive the bus home tonight.
Actually, Auburn flew in here to the Baltimore area on Thursday. They worked out here yesterday, and they look like they are going to be a very powerful team in the upcoming SEC season. Skipworth knocks down a 3. It's 77-60. In fact, Auburn will open SEC play against the Tennessee Volunteers on the Plains on January the 2nd. And they've had some problems in the past trying to get fans into the arena at Auburn, but there are just a couple of 100 tickets left for that game. There's a good chance that when the Vols and the Auburn Tigers get it on January 2nd, that game's going to be a complete sellout.
Well, I think Cliff Ellis is going to have a nice Christmas. They've got to take care of Bethune-Cookman. But that certainly is going to be an exciting way to open up the SEC.
Victor knocks down a 3, 79-63. Closing in on 4 minutes to go in the game. Pullman for three. Wow, it's a shooting contest now.
You know, it's interesting, Dave. Navy really has played Auburn as tough as anybody's played Auburn this year. And let's not deceive ourselves. This is going to be a very solid Navy basketball team. Guys like Skip Victor and John Williams, they're going to be a pretty formidable team in the Patriot League.
Another steal by Smith. And, you know, when you try to talk about what it takes to put together a really, really good team to make a tournament run, and there's a steal, or a near steal, by Navy's Jeremy Totten. Doc Robinson gets it back. Take a look at this Auburn basketball team. You've got a veteran point guard. You've got some guys who can shoot, who can run. You've got a big 7-foot shot-blocking center. The tools are there. Veteran coach.
And unquestionably a lot of depth, and that's important. I see this Auburn team being a team that can play a long way in March. The important thing is they've got a tough SEC schedule ahead of them. Brian Williams doesn't take a lot of outside shots, but Chris Porter is everywhere today.
So Porter will go back to the free throw line for 2 more. Yeah, Cliff Ellis would like to get this team back to the NCAAs. Of course, Auburn had a great run of 4 straight trips to the tournament back in the middle 80s under Sonny Smith.
You know, the thing you admire about Cliff Ellis and Don DeVoe, for that matter, they're both program builders. They've built some programs everywhere they've been. They've both got not just good basketball teams this year, but their programs are in great shape for the future.
Another turnover by Navy. Porter. And he'll go back to the free throw line. You know, free throws have been a problem for Porter, but today he's 12 of 18 from the stripe. Porter has shot more free throws than the entire Navy team today.
Scott Pullman does a great job of finding Porter trailing as the open man, and it's nice to see that even at this point in the game, they continue to play unselfishly.
That's Porter's 19th free throw attempt. Navy, as a team, has only shot 16 free throws today. Porter now with 34 points. 85-63. That's the largest lead of the game for Auburn. Totten's shot is sent out. Here comes Smith. And he is fouled by Skipworth and will go to the line for 2. 2:42 to go in the game.
Njai has been everywhere today.
Oh, man. This one was heading right for us,
you know,
Fran.
yeah, and what you like about the block shot is he didn't block it out of bounds. He kept it in play, and he blocked it to a position where Brian Smith could come up with the loose ball.
Skipworth fouls out of the game. And now Smith will step in. 4 new Auburn Tigers are set to check in at the next opportunity. And here they come. Reggie Sharp is in. Corey Watkins, Adrian Purston, Mac McGadney is also in the game.
And if Brian Smith could make this free throw, Mamadou Njai is going to call it a day.
Williams tries to control it. Can't do it, and Auburn will stay at this end. Smith exits after a strong effort, and there's Person. Mamadou Njai. Remaining in the lineup for the moment for Auburn. Some of the Navy fans are heading for the exit, but the Auburn fans are hanging right in. And the foul is called. So Hill is whistled on the personal. And McGadney, the freshman forward from Mobile, Alabama, steps up to the free throw line.
Cliff Ellis not only has had some success with junior college players, Dave, but he's also been able to keep some of the top young players in the state of Alabama home. That's going to get a little more difficult with Mark Gottfried at Alabama, but certainly he's gotten his share of them the last couple of years, and again, he's another example of that. Jay Hurd as well.
Yeah, Jay Hurd, according to Cliff Ellis, was the best two-guard prospect in the state of Alabama last year, and now he's playing for the Auburn Tigers. And there's Person. 16 fouls now on Auburn. Njai exits. And our first look today at freshman forward Abe Smith from Roswell, Georgia.
High school teammate of Scott Pullman. That's a pretty good shooting team.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that was a good team. Tough shot in traffic by Jahiel Lewis. Lewis 15 with the ball again. 2 minutes to go in the game. 86-63.
It was a good experience for the Midshipmen. This is going to, you hate to say a loss is going to help you, but this certainly will, because this is a very athletic Auburn team.
So in the immediate future for Auburn, on the 29th, they will host Bethune-Cookman. Then back-to-back battles in the SEC as we begin 1999 on January 2nd against the Tennessee Vols. And then the Arkansas Razorbacks come to the Plains on January the 6th. For Navy, they will be home on Monday night to host Dartmouth. Then they hit the road for a two-game road trip at UMBC on the 23rd and then at Arizona State on the 28th. Smith on the drive. So Abe Smith gets in the books. Loose ball finally controlled by Navy.
That's a nice job of running their offense, and Lewis makes a shot. Another one of those guys that I think is going to get some more playing time and develop into a nice player for Coach DeVoe.
Inside of a minute to go in the game. Auburn trying to put the finishing touches on an impressive road non-conference win against the Mids of Navy.
Auburn will be heading out after today's game, and Cliff Ellis is going to have a nice Christmas at 11-0, and he's done a nice job of.
Many of our viewers will be seeing women's college basketball next. Stanford and Tennessee from the Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville, Tennessee. Stanford and Tennessee women's college basketball coming up next for many of you watching on Fox Sports Net this afternoon. So Lewis steps up to the free throw line on the 1-and-1 from Eisenhower High School in Houston, Texas. Smith with the rebound. Lost it. Now controlled by Navy. Inside of a half minute to go. 3 on the way, no good.
Nice look by Shepard.
And Navy finally converts. Josh Hill with the hammer. The sophomore from Camarillo High School in California. 88-68.
Navy's going to try to make it difficult for Auburn to get it in. Little man full court pressure.
Auburn led this game by 9 at the half. Then in the second half, that relentless Auburn pressure was just too much for Navy. Sharp with the slick move, but he lost control of the ball.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen him pass it to Adrian Person to see him get a shot and see if he's got.
Now this, how about this? Has there ever been a member of the Person family appear in a game without a shot attempt? That's got to be a first.
That's got to be a first. He's got more of Chuck's build than Wes. Is Wes more of a guard? But the key now for Adrian over Christmas break is to get himself in shape and get himself in tune with what's been going on the last couple of months, because he is behind as well as Corey Watkins, just joining the team this week. Mike Cunningham's done some nice things here today. He's a guy that will develop into a nice player, a lot like Josh Williams. He's only a sophomore and he's going to get better as the season goes on.
Cunningham unable to complete the three-point play. McGadney has the rebound for Auburn as we run off the final seconds. Person got a shot attempt, but it was no good. Cliff Ellis, Don DeVoe, two veteran coaches going at it today. And how about Chris Porter leads all scores with 34 points. Auburn, with the victory, moves to 11-0 on the season. They will stay in the national rankings. Navy drops to 6-2. For Fran Frischella, I'm Dave Weekley saying so long from Annapolis, Maryland, where the Auburn Tigers have defeated the Navy Midshipmen 88-70. You've been watching college basketball on Fox Sports Now.